Good morning, guys. Okay, well, I guess in the words of Utah Governor Spencer Cox, we got him. Uh, Last night at 10 p.m. local time, that'd be Utah time, Mountain time, I think is what they call it. I'm in Central time, so I'm like, I don't know, 2.5 hours, something like that behind or ahead. I don't know. All this time stuff confuses me. Regardless, at 10 p.m. local time, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson was turned into local law enforcement for the assassination, what has been now labeled as a political assassination of Charlie Kirk. Okay, a lot of stuff to digest right here. So, I literally was writing notes on top of notes on top of notes. First off, Tyler Robinson is from Washington, Utah, also in Washington County, Utah. His father, Matthew Robinson, is a deputy with the Washington County Sheriff's Department. His mother, Amber Robinson, is a social worker. He also has a younger brother. I will not state his name. And apparently, over the last few months, Tyler Robinson had become more and more political. And as one family member stated, had become full of hate, spreading hate. Okay. Apparently, a family member reached out, uh, and a family friend together were able to find Tyler Robinson and get him into law enforcement. Um, According to his roommate, there had been some messages, which this roommate did provide to law enforcement, on Discord server from Tyler Robinson regarding the gun being left in a wooded area, scope being on the gun, engravings on the bullets, and we'll talk about those in a minute. As I said, that roommate has opened that Discord server and has given those messages to law enforcement. Let's see. Let's go up to these engravings. We had "Hey fascist!" exclamation point, catch exclamation point, Bella Ciao, and the three down signs, which is the symbol for Antifa. Now, let's go to Bella Ciao. Bella Ciao was originally adopted by Italian partisans fighting fascism in World War II. It has later become a global anthem of resistance used in various protests, including Black Lives Matter marches. Um, so, whether or not this guy is actually, a part of or linked to in any way Antifa or the Black Lives Matter movement, we don't know. Not yet, anyway. Of course, they just now probably are conducting, searches of any homes he's lived in over the past year of digital equipment. You have to get search warrants for different social media platforms, emails. That takes time, but they do have all that information. Now, I'd like to go to something that Kash Patel said, of course, after thanking, all law enforcement, greatly thanking the community, greatly thanking basically all of us, because, it wasn't just those people standing there in front of them that helped get this information out. I feel that all of us, we were part of that too. But at the end of, thanking everyone, Cash Patel stated, this was to Charlie Kirk specifically, "Rest down, brother. We have the watch. I'll see you in Valhalla." Let's go back to the fact that this man was, as stated by a family member, full of hate, spreading hate. Again, this has now actually been labeled a political assassination. And to quote some of the things that Governor Spencer Cox said, it's an attack on all of us, an attack on our ideals, who we are and can be, an attack on our freedom of expression. And that's the truth. That's exactly what I was saying in my post yesterday. This is our freedom of expression, our freedom of speech, our freedom of peaceful assembly. When we can't, when you have people like this person and all of those who celebrated what he did and celebrated the death of this man, it will cause people to be scared to speak, scared to exercise their freedoms that we're guaranteed in this country. If you don't like our freedoms, then go live somewhere else. I mean, seriously, because here we do have these freedoms. Now, does it always mean, are people always right in what they say? No. But what, that's part of what, Charlie stood for, though, was hashing out our differences verbally rather than with violence. Another thing that Governor Cox brought up was that, how he said that he just hoped and prayed that when we found the person responsible for this, that it wouldn't be anyone from Utah. He was hoping that it would be someone who drove in from another state or flew in from another country or something like that. He just hoped and hoped and hoped that it would not be someone from Utah. And it turned out to be exactly that. However, something that he did, Utah is a special, he said, Utah's a special place, and it is, land of the Mormons. They lead our country in giving and in service every year. And even though it was one of them that committed this horrendous crime, there was no looting, no fighting, no setting cars on fire, no violence. Okay, so that right there proves that where you are, I don't know how to say it. I guess community is very important. We obviously, again, this is something that he touched on, have not evolved from the 1960s. JFK was the last time that, I mean, it's like we just keep going. However, to get back to Tyler Robinson, 22, of Washington, in Washington County, Utah, which is in South Utah. He has been booked into the Utah County Jail, which is where this incident happened. And his mugshot is available, which is odd because I think in Utah they don't normally put out mugshots all that often. So, but however it is, it's there, and it was his family that turned him in. You know, but I have to say this: the pictures that were put out initially, those pictures were good enough. I can tell you right now, his mom and dad knew that was him from the get-go. From the first picture they saw, they knew that was their kid. What it took for them to, yeah, okay, let's give them their kudos. They got him to turn himself in. However, it took someone else outside of the family, a family friend, contacting them, basically probably saying, if you don't turn him in, I am. Now, I don't know if that was said or not, but I mean, come on. Like I said, even those very first pictures, those parents knew that was their son. They knew it. I can guarantee you they knew it. Okay? If that had been a picture of one of my kids that close up, even though, like, to the rest of the world, it might have been grainy, but I guarantee you I would have been able to know that if that was my son or not. I guarantee you they knew. But it took somebody else contacting them and saying, hey, we know who that is, so what are we going to do about this? So yeah, I mean, the parents turned him in, but it did take someone else becoming involved for them to do so. So let's not give them like the 100% kudos. Let's give them like about, I don't know, 50% kudos. Anyhow, they also, turns out that there's also video of him in his vehicle, at the university, and also heading back south towards his home after the assassination. He did change clothes. He took off the clothes that he was wearing. He came to the university in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. He put on the all black outfit and the blue jeans that we see in all the pictures. After he committed the assassination, he took those clothes back off, so he was back into the shorts and the maroon shirt. And this kind of tells you psychologically where this joker is. When they arrested him last night, he was wearing the same clothes. So, yeah. From October the 10th until last night, he had not changed clothes. He still had on the same shorts and shirt. So obviously he didn't take a shower. Yeah. I'm just glad that this person is off the streets because as a family member said, he was full of hate and spreading hate. So this is a hateful person, and probably would have ended up hurting someone else. But he wasn't smart enough to not leave fingerprints and DNA and a digital footprint and all of that stuff. But yeah, and I believe that also I don't know if it was on like one of the unspent uh, bullets that they found or what, but somewhere engraved was, if you read this, you are gay. I think that he must have been like referring to the police officers or something with that one. But yeah, yeah. Hey, fascist, catch, Bella Ciao, and the three down symbols, which is Antifa. So we have reference on the Bella Ciao. That's a direct reference to the Black Lives Matter movement, and the three down signals. The three down symbol. Excuse me, my tongue is getting tied again. Is direct reference to the Antifa movement. And I'm just glad he's in jail. I'm glad he's in jail. Now, my question is this. Okay, this is the second time that Donald Trump was almost assassinated in the exact same way, in the exact same setup. So when is law enforcement going to learn that we need to be sweeping all the roofs if we're going to allow these political rallies to happen in a Super Bowl type setting, where you have buildings surrounding the area? When is law enforcement going to learn that we need to sweep all of the rooftops? Because had that been done, CharlieKirk might still be alive. Yes, this person did this. However, we're still lacking in law enforcement. Okay, I'm sorry. We're still lagging there. All right, so I'm going to end this with something else that Governor Cox said. He basically kind of left it this way. Is this the end of a dark chapter, or the beginning of an even darker chapter in our history? That's our choice. And I hope that we make the right choice. And the right choice is to use our brains, use our intelligence, use our God-given talent to speak, and to stop using violence. Because violence, people are trying to use violence because they think that it's a way to stop this, that, and the third, and it's not. Let's use our voices to hash out differences. And as I said yesterday, sometimes you just have to agree to disagree on things. And that's okay, because this is the United States of America. And that's what we do here. That's the whole reason that we set up the way that we're set up, is so that we can be different. a lot of people in my life are, I have people in my life that are uber conservative. I have people in my life in the LGBTQ community, and I love all of them, and just because the ones on this side don't quite agree with the ones on this side, that's not, I don't care, you know. To me, this is my life, and, I'm going to have to, where this person may say, oh, that's wrong. What I say to them is, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to have to, we're going to have to agree to disagree about that. Be you, be unique, and know that it's okay to be different, and know that it's okay to not agree on we don't have to agree on everything in life. Look past that. Stop the violence. Stop the hate. Please. This guy full of just, you can just look at him and tell in his mugshot, just full of vitriol and just spewing. And he looks like he's proud of what he did. He's proud that he made a woman a widow, a girl, a young mother with has two young children that are fatherless now. Completely, an entire hundreds of college students that likely a lot of them will have to have therapy for a very long time just for what they saw, the violent act that they witnessed that they weren't expecting to happen. Yeah, this guy needs to go away because, I'm just glad that he's behind bars, because clearly as much as bad as things were in his life with the spewing hate all the time, yeah, he would have hurt someone else. He would have, and as I said before, if you celebrate someone's death like that, and you're lacking, you lack empathy to that point that you're riding on the roller coaster with him. You might need to check into some therapy for yourself, because that, like I said, one of the biggest indicators of a sociopath is a lack of empathy. Stay away from those people. Stay away from people who don't have empathy for others. Because if they don't have empathy for others, they're not going to have any empathy for you. It doesn't matter if you're friends or not. But yeah, please, let's stop the violence. Let's be intelligent. Let's use our intelligence. Sometimes let's agree to disagree and then just go about life. I know I don't want, it's hard that, for me to know that one day I'm going to be gone, and I'm going to still have kids living in this world. And this is not the world that I want that I want to leave them in. Please. It's just crazy. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap this up for right now. I hope y'all have had a good week. It is Friday. I hope you all have had a good week, and hope you have a good weekend planned, or maybe you don't have anything planned. Maybe you're going to just take a rest for the weekend. But I'm sure that I will be talking to you soon. Always do. But yeah, y'all have fun out there. Please be safe. And always, always, always know that you are loved. I love you guys. Bye.